Hello everyone, welcome to the Sin Football Podcast Show. This is the fourth edition. Joining me here is Rounak, with me Sourav. So we are going to talk about this past week's Premier League matches. And the first match we are going to talk about is the Arsenal versus City match, which was a blockbuster. And the first point I want to talk about is whether Unai Emery's revolution was really kick-started or should we give them another chance. So what do you think, Ronak?
It's just too early to call on Unai Emery's tenure. Like, he's trying to instill his plans and everything, but City were like a level above them. Even after playing the B team, they were like too good for them.
But how many players were they missing? City were like playing their possibly B or C team.
Yeah, possibly the B team, but you can see he's trying to play it from the back, Unai Emery, but the defenders are not used to it. Even the midfielders, there was a 19-year-old boy from French second division who was starting for them. So it's not going to be an easy ride, but yeah, it will take time.
Okay, so possibly summing it up, like whatever Wenger has done over the past 22 years, he's going to take some time. So
Guardiola has been coaching City for like past 3 years. The team knows his philosophy, where they need to be, how they need to score and everything. Yeah.
So what do you think? They were just playing the same way, or City had some adjustments and some alterations to the game?
When Arsenal pressed City higher up the pitch, they struggled a bit, but not to a great extent. Like, Arsenal is like a work in progress, but no, it's gonna take at least 1 or 2 seasons before you can see Unai Emery's proper tactical plans on the field.
And what did you think about Ozil, the hottest prospect? I think the controversial prospect right now.
Ozil, in my opinion, is a bit overhyped. Yeah, he manages 4 key passes a game and everything like that, but when you need to get your grit into the game, your determination, he just disappears. I'm not a huge fan of Ozil, to be fair.
Okay, fine. It's coming from a Liverpool fan. Okay, what about the keeping? Like Arsenal's style of play has changed from Wenger's, which was, I don't know what his plan was in the last couple of years, but Unai Emery has certainly wants to play from the back.
Yeah.
He wants his keeper to be good on the foot. He wants to be good on the ball.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Cech in goal?
So Cech is a kind of keeper who's seen it all for the past 10 years. Like, he's come from a generation where managers used to tell him to kick it long to the tall centre forwards to just
route one football.
Yeah, route one football, typical English football. But then came the likes of Guardiola, Klopp, Pochettino, started playing it from the back, and similarly Unai Emery is trying to do the same thing. They've bought a good keeper, German keeper Bernd Leno, but again it's shown the faith in Peter Cech for having a good pre-season, but as you can see, he's struggling. You'll give him like 2 or 3 matches to get his
But don't you think Peter Cech is getting old, and maybe this might be his.
No, for sure he's getting old. He is he can be a mentor to Bernd Leno because he's new to the league, and he can teach him how to come for a cross, when to come for a cross, or when not to come for a cross. And also the physicality of goalkeeping in Premier League is a bit different than Bundesliga. But surely it's gonna be Bernd Leno in the coming future.
So the next game we're going to talk about is Chelsea Huddersfield, which was another debut manager, Sarri. So what did you think about the game?
So it's a complete change for Chelsea. When you previously say Antonio Conte playing 3-4-3 or 3-5-2, and then comes a guy who likes to keep the ball on the carpet playing 4-3-3. So it's a huge change. The likes of Ross Barkley are coming into the picture, who we all thought like it's a typical English buy, but it's gonna be sold along the way. But yeah, it's gonna take time. Like when Eden Hazard is completely fit after coming completely fit, so it's gonna be attacking. It's gonna be full attacking intent. The likes of Alonso, Azpilicueta going, and they've bought a new keeper as well, the world famous Kepa, as we all know it.
So what do you think? Was it worth buying
No, it was a panic buy. We all know it. It was a panic buy.
But talking about keepers, maybe just like strikers. Maybe like keepers are getting like
it's fair. It's
inflated.
Fair.
Inflated
it's not.
Prices.
It's not even inflated. There are times when you need a good goalkeeper, as we all know it from Liverpool's experience, like Karius. Whatever it was, whether it was a concussion or You need a good goalkeeper to win a championship or a cup or something. But Kepa, as we all know it, it's
I
a
can
funny
get your
guy.
point. Like we can talk about like Casillas because he was a wall for Real
Yeah.
Madrid for many years, and like taking test again for an instance.
Yeah.
Last season, I
He's
think
been phenomenal. He's better than Manuel Neuer for sure.
for sure, I think he should have played for Germany in the goal between the sticks, but it doesn't matter. But I can understand. But was 80 million like because of him, because of Kepa? Now young goalkeepers are going to be priced at that.
Yeah, exactly.
They are going to be inflated, so we have to keep.
And there's a lot of pressure on the young kid to perform well.
So what about Willian?
The
He was
support.
hot. He was hot.
He
in the
was
transfer
supposed to
market
go
this
to
time.
Manchester United, then Barcelona, then Real
Barcelona.
Madrid, everywhere. But yeah, he's
Yeah,
gonna.
he made a comment about Antonio Conte that if he had stayed,
Yeah,
there was no chance. He was
Yeah, the
staying
player
in
he has
Chelsea.
fallen out with the players. But as you can see from his comments, like he obviously tells like Sarri is more of an attacking philosophy. There's everything is like focused on going ahead, scoring goals, keeping the ball, playing some beautiful football. That's the philosophy. While as for Conte, it was all about pragmatic, defensive, and getting the game over the line. Yeah,
What do you think about Morata now? Okay,
Morata.
we are not big fans of Morata,
Morata,
but
yeah,
we
for
loved
sure.
him at Juventus and
Even Real Madrid bits.
So we don't know what's wrong with him, but he's
I think he's just lacking confidence, and under Conte he struggled hugely.
because Conte used
yeah.
to substitute everyone.
Not even that, the playing style, it was more defense. He had to come back into his half and then carry the ball. He's more of an attacking, quick counter attacks.
Counter-attacking play. Even in Juventus against the match against Bayern, he was just hitting Bayern on the attack. So I think he'll need a bit of confidence.
And Sarri will for sure will provide him when the likes of Eden Hazard, Willian will play up ahead. Yeah, then for sure.
Eden Hazard will be a key for them, and obviously Willian. But I think Eden Hazard will be a key player for them if he plays well.
Even the signing of Jorginho is like in the base of the midfield. He's been phenomenal.
Their work in the market is really great. Chelsea.
When you compare, they've gotten Kovacic, Kante, and Jorginho. I think they have the best midfield in the Premier League. To be fair,
yeah, you can say that.
yeah,
Arguably.
yeah, but yeah.
So moving on to the next one, we are going to talk about Manchester United. So what do you think about Mourinho and his men? I think Mourinho and his men have been divided because of him, because of his antics in the press. So let's start. What do you think, Ron?
It was a brave move by Mourinho to give the captaincy to Paul Pogba, to be fair. But he showed his class in the first half an hour, 45 minutes, Paul Pogba. Then the tiredness of the World Cup showed in. The team tried to attack. They got the early lead in the very 5th minute or something like that. But yeah, then they decided to start back. And Leicester, to be honest, played quite decently. Like when Demarai Gray and Ben Chilwell on the left hand side, they were quite phenomenal. They were unlucky not to score before half time. Again, there was a wall named David De Gea who just.
David De Gea will be on every Manchester United video or blog. I think he's great.
He's been phenomenal.
Jose Mourinho's trump card. I think last season, the only reason they came second was because of David De Gea.
Yeah, for sure. Even the centre backs, Eric Bailly and Victor Lindelof, they did okay, but weren't that convincing. And credit to Luke Shaw for scoring his first goal after that horrendous injury.
That injury was really so. That's what we think about Man U, but really they need to get the
shit together.
United together, I think. So now talking about Liverpool and West Ham, I think we can only talk about Liverpool because
West Ham got hammered.
West Ham was hammered actually. So let's talk about Salah. What do you think? One season wonder?
Not at all. Even before coming to Liverpool at Roma, he scored he was contributing to almost 30 goals, let alone goals and assists combined. So that's not the topic of one season wonder is off the books.
Off the books, yeah. So what about the new signing Keita?
He's been phenomenal till now in the transitional play. Let Fabinho come, then you'll see the real Keita. But right now he has defensive duty because of Fabinho's injury. When Fabinho comes in, then you will see the real Keita going around, trying to join the attack even more often than right now.
Oh, who else? So Firmino's touches are really great.
I think he's the key to that front three. People give a lot of credit to Mane and Salah, but he's in this never got the limelight that he deserves. In my opinion.
Okay, he's like one of the players who never gets the limelight.
Yeah, for sure. And the average formation in this game was like 2 defenders for Liverpool, 5 attacking midfielders. Or
I only saw them attacking Liverpool, were just hammering them on the attack. They couldn't breathe. The Hammers couldn't breathe, seriously.
And Alisson had a very quiet debut.
We couldn't really judge Alisson on this performance because
had there been carriers in the goal, it wouldn't have made a difference. But yeah, that was the amount of Hammers' influence in the game.
And what about the defense, Liverpool defense?
Yeah, after Van Dijk, it's legit. It's a good.
What about the best defender in the world?
Lucky. Yeah, he's suffering from some injury, so it's gonna take 3 or 4 weeks for the best defender to come back.
So +1 for Liverpool now.
Yeah.
So what about let's talk about the shock, I think, upset or the Wolves thing.
They have a very good. They might be the underdogs for this Premier League season to finish around top 8.
Not like Leicester, but
Leicester was not at all. You never know. It's just the first game, so they will finish around 8th or something like that. If they finish,
that would be really.
If they finish below 10, then it will be an injustice to the squad and stuff like that. But the signings that they've made through Jorge Mendes and the loans that they've got through from Atletico Madrid, Porto, the signing of Neves, the keeper Patricio, and the forward Jimenez, been phenomenal. So and the way football they played, like 3-4-3, people expected them to defend back. It's the Premier League, but they kept on playing the attacking football. That's a good sign for a Premier League.
So, it's early to call the top 6, but in your opinion, what do you think is the top 6?
It's gonna be City, Liverpool. Liverpool are gonna push.
You think City is going to win it again?
Experience, Pep Guardiola, nothing much. So,
but to be honest, Pep Guardiola won the second season, and he has made some changes in his squad. But I really think
they needed a midfielder like Jorginho to cover Fernandinho.
But we'll see. Carry on.
So it's like City, then Liverpool will push City to the brim, in my opinion, and then there's Chelsea, in my opinion, because of Sarri, the kind of football that he plays. Then comes Manchester United, Arsenal, and then Tottenham.
Why do you say Tottenham would come 6th?
Because firstly of the new stadium, and they've signed no one. That's not at all right.
I really think that's a bad idea, because that shows that he thinks his team is maybe perfect.
Yeah, I get that you have a good core, but you always need competition to keep them on their toes.
To talk about the champions, City has made so many signings. They sign players because they know, they have to change and alter the formation and everything according to
they already had Sterling, Sane, Bernardo Silva, but they still got what's his name, Riyad Mahrez, just to give him the competition, just to keep the players on the edge,
just to swap things up.
Yeah, that's what is important when you compete on 4 fronts.
I think Tottenham's ambitions are not really that great.
This might be that golden generation to clinch a Premier League, or even a FA Cup for them will be a good thing.
They haven't won anything in a long time,
for the last 10-15 years, nothing that.
So this, I think, with Harry Kane, with Dele Alli, with
Eriksen, Eric Dyer, Vertonghen, Alderweireld. There are a lot of talent, but they had to sign someone.
They could win possibly at least one trophy. They could go for
at least a League Cup or a FA Cup, something.
But I don't.
But with their squad, I don't think so.
Yeah. So that's it for our podcast this week. And we are going to come with great surprises next week, because whoever loves FIFA, the game, you're in for a lot of surprises. And about this week's podcast, you can comment, you can like, and please tell us what you like and what you dislike about our content, because we want to improve. We are just 4 podcasts in, and we love
we are just normal fans that we love football. We want to give it to the community who can't watch it. We are just reviewing the top 6 or the Premier League, all the big matches on a whole. That's it.
And we are going to be covering Indian football extensively. It's going to be our priority, and you should really tune in for the future content. So thank you, and please subscribe and like.